Hello and welcome to the channel. With the increasing availability of data in all fields and domains, skills and technologies required for extracting meaningful information from data have also become very important. Nowadays, you hear a lot about data science, data analytics, business analytics, predictive analytics, machine learning, deep learning. All of these terms are somehow interrelated and are also sometimes used interchangeably by people. In this relation, you also hear a lot about R and Python. We will not focus on Python in this video. We will focus only on R and will try to understand what it is, why is it so popular, why you should, if you want to analyze data, learn it, and what are its benefits. So first, what is R? So R is a programming language and it is widely used for data analysis, statistical modeling, and visualization. So essentially, it is a programming language, and it is a programming language. Although it is a programming language and it can be used for the purposes that programming languages are used, but it has become very much associated with data analysis and statistical modeling and data visualization. So this, although it is not its sole purpose, but it is widely used for these purposes. But you might ask yourself, why do you need a programming language to do data analysis? After all, we have a lot of click and drop software packages like SPSS, Excel, Minitab, and there are other softwares as well. So, why would you want a programming language to conduct analysis which you can conduct quite easily on click and drop software packages? So there are certain reasons why it is required. Let's have a look at why you should do that. So R has certain advantages over click and drop software packages. First is cost. All of these software packages, SPSS, Minitab, Excel, these are proprietary softwares and you have to pay a certain amount to use them. But in contrast, R is an open source language, meaning that it is completely free to use. Anyone can download it and start using it. The other is flexibility. I mean, in click and drop software packages, you can only do what they are coded for. I mean, for which certain buttons are available, certain functions are available. For example, you can filter data using the criteria which Excel allows you to. So if you want to perform a regular sort of analysis, Excel is fine or SPSS may be fine. But if you have a new requirement for which there is no button or function available in these software packages, then you cannot do that analysis. Okay. In comparison, you can do everything in R by writing a code because there are no buttons in R. You can write a code for whatever you want to do. So the R is much more flexible in the terms that you can do a lot of things with R that you cannot do with click and drop software packages. Third is capability. I mean, software packages like Excel or SPSS have a certain limited capability. There is a limit to the amount of data, for example, they can handle. But with R, there are no such limitations. Depending on your computational power, the machine you are using, you can handle any amount of data. There are no limitations. There are no limited number of rows or limited number of columns that you can handle. You can handle any amount of data as long as your computer has the capability to handle that data. Fourth is reproducibility. In Excel, if you do an analysis, there is no track record. There is no track, there is no log. And if you want to tell someone how you did an analysis, you will have to explain the whole thing to them. You will have to either verbally explain to them, and you can probably make a flow chart, but then with every Excel sheet you will have to give that flow chart again. But with R or any other programming language, you can write the script which is reproducible. I can simply write a code and then share that code with another person. They can use it on the same data set and get the same result. So if you can write a code and save it, it can be shared with anyone. That makes it highly communicable, and it becomes a lot of it becomes quite easy to for another person to reproduce what you have done. And the last thing is integration. R allows a lot of integration with other programming languages, other platforms, other forums. So because it is a code and it can be easily integrated into and can be used with other software packages and languages. In contrast, when there are certain limitations on what Excel can be integrated with or what SPSS can be integrated with. Okay. And then the question is, okay, we understand that there are certain advantages associated with using R, but is not it a programming language, and programming languages are notoriously difficult to learn for people who do not have a background in computer science. But R is not that difficult to learn actually, because it can be learned without any background in programming. Why? Because first, it is a high level language. High level language, by high level language we mean that it is a language that is close to human language as compared to machine language. The functions that you use in R are quite intuitive and very understandable to a person. For example, if I have to calculate mean of a data set, then I will simply use the function mean. I do not have to write 1, 2, 3 or some very complex code. With very short functions, with very short codes, you can achieve you can perform a lot of analyses, and those functions and are very understandable to humans. Secondly, learning resources are abundantly available. It is an open source language, and there is a very active community of our users who run forums, who create documentation, who create videos on YouTube, which are freely available, and so you can use all those resources to learn the language. Third, community is very active. Community by active community means that you can always approach someone on some forum to get help if you are stuck, and they also create a lot of documentation, videos, etc., which are again very useful for you. And lastly, user friendly IDEs like RStudio are available, as there are certain integrated development environments, that the IDEs like RStudio, which are very user friendly, and you can use those IDEs to interact with R, which makes the whole thing very easy, and you can easily use R. So in terms of capabilities, flexibility, reproducibility, and integration, R has numerous advantages over click and drop software packages, and it is quite easy to learn. So if you aspire to be a data analyst or data scientist, and you do not have much background in computer science and programming, you should learn R. Thank you.